I gained 10 pounds eating the red and the green M&Ms, bro. So, I gained 10 pounds so quick. I'll chop it up today. How you brothers been for the week, man?
Oh, we've been good, man. We've been
good.
Yeah. We can't ignore the ratings. I mean, this light skin thing is working for me and Derik.
I heard it's more market. Where do we start?
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Let's Chop It Up. Please follow us, like us on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Please always comment. We like the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we always will respond to you. So what's up, my brothers, man? I ain't see y'all in about another 7 days. Derik, how was your week, my brother?
Yo, man, my week is aces, brother. Just enjoy it. Well, you know how it was the last couple of days, man. We had that rain, but today, man, we made up for it, man. And got out with my boy, my oldest. He ain't no boy no more. He's a man, young man now. We just got to hang out today, man. You know, he's going back, hitting base on the weekend, so we got some QT in with, together. Just hanging out, man. As buddies almost. You know what I'm saying? He's at that point now. We can just have a completely different relationship. You know what I mean? So what do we do, man? We just hung out, we hit the range and whatnot. Got some time in down at the rifle range, and then we just kind of got him some driving lessons in, because when he left, he didn't get his driver's license before he left, so. We're trying to get that squared away, trying to get him some drive time. COVID jammed all that up. So yeah, but it was just just a good time, man. My oldest, my other two are doing great. My wife is doing great, and I'm happy, man. I'm happy to be here with you guys here on Let's Chop It Up. So let's get it.
What's up? So Rod, how was your week, my brother?
My week was good, man. I had a new experience. I went crab fishing. I went with my brother-in-laws. We went out and had a good time. We fished off the bay. I never caught crab before. Had a pretty good time. I had a great Father's Day. Spent time with the kids, and my wife took me out. And then I took my youngest. We also went crab fishing after that again. So, I had an amazing week. I thought it was pretty good. Time with the family. And now I'm here with you guys.
Well, I caught crabs a long time ago, but that was in my college days.
Those are not the crabs I'm talking about. No, the ones in the water, not the ones in your pants. The ones in the water.
How did you catch them? Because I grew up in Massapequa. We used to always go crabbing. How did you do it?
Well, he had like these little net baskets, and basically we would put tie the bait down into the basket, and then basically throw it out into the water, let it sit for like about 5 to 10 minutes or whatever. And then we reel them back in. You know what I'm saying?
That's blue claw? Yeah,
blue claws. Yeah, nice. Absolutely. Yeah. We caught like around maybe 43 crabs.
Nice.
Yeah, wow. And probably like less than an hour and a half.
Wow. Yeah, that's good.
Well, I took one girl to bed and caught about 2,000 crabs, but none but a little A200 couldn't handle back in the day. So.
It's a different subject, D. This is a different subject.
I had blue ones, I had red ones,
Oh my God!
Rodney, you lobbed it up to the basketball.
Yeah, I know. It was the alley-oop. It was the alley-oop. His mouth was watering as soon as I said crab.
Oh man, Kelvin, how was your week, brother?
All right, look, I don't want everybody to think I come in every week with an issue, right? But I'm gonna try to change the way I talk. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna outline the problem. In this generation, everybody operates with challenges. So I have a couple of challenges. I got the stop speeding down my block challenge. Let's try that. All night long challenge. I want to see who can win these challenges. I got to go get a job, read a book, and go to sleep so everybody else in the neighborhood can sleep challenge. And if we could do that, man, that needs to be the new internet sensation right there.
Yeah, that's hard, man.
Good luck with that, Kelvin. Good luck.
These young kids speed everywhere, man. But the funny thing, they got speed cameras now that's on the scene in the back streets. And
They don't bother them.
Nah, they don't. I saw a girl.
In their aunt name, it don't bother them.
Yeah.
But now the week was good. The week was really, really good. Trying to get myself ready for the summer. I got 3 straight weeks of not working out, so I've been consistent with that. And other than that, looking for a great summer coming up.
But at least you're thinking about working out, though.
Yeah,
Kelvin. That's how it starts.
Mental reps.
Correct.
Yeah.
Just stay mental repping.
You diesel on the inside.
You identify with being in shape.
Right.
Thank you, Rod.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just as long as you identify with being in shape, you'll be fine.
Thank you.
That is classic.
So what's up with you, D? What's the deal?
My week was interesting, man. I went to Barbados for a quick trip. I thought it was gonna be a better trip, but I had to come back early because first of all, I'm gonna go to the Barbados trip. Then I'll talk about my uncle. So Barbados, we went there, and I thought it was gonna be lit because everybody was carnival and stuff. Barbados is on lockdown. They had curfew at 8 o'clock. Shut the bars down. The hotel was misleading us to the hotel. It said it was all inclusive there. They had a set menu, was some BS. The beach was messed up because they had a storm before. And I almost make I don't want to go back to Barbados. And listen, those little boutique hotels, those reviews, I swear to God, they paying the chef to make those reviews. There's no way in hell I'll ever go to one of the boutique hotels ever again. I stayed in one in New Mexico, which was fabulous. But I would never stay in another boutique hotel again, ever. Sorry to say. That's how bad it was.
Strictly big chain for you now. Huh?
Oh my! That's it.
The food wasn't right.
Yeah, and I'm big. And the food. Let me tell you something. When you had it's a hotel, 24 people, 24 rooms. We only had three couples in a whole hotel. Why does it take an hour and 15 minutes for eggs to come out? Like it don't make sense. I mean, I know Caribbean people. I'm a Caribbean, that y'all move in Caribbean time, but come on, man. 3 people, it didn't make sense for me. I was tired. I'm never again. I'm looking now. I'm searching for another trip. I need a redo. That's how bad it is.
Coney Island, brother. Coney Island.
It never disappoint. You know what I'm saying? Frog legs and all that stuff. You got a good crackhead deck, dance battles, and all that kind of stuff. I had no entertainment. It was so bad I came back a day early, bro. I paid for the extra money, came back a day early. Like I had to leave. Yeah, I couldn't do it.
But the weather wasn't even good in the beach?
No, it rained. The beach it had some kind of seaweed and something called sea moss, sea gas. I don't know what it was all over. It was brown. It was all over the rocks, the beach. It had a couple of government and to comb the beach. It was that bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but they said, and now as soon as I get back on early, the next day, the prime minister said, "Oh, we're gonna open up fully after June 30th." I was like, "Son of a bitch!" But anyhow, I'm dedicating this show to my uncle who passed away yesterday. And I know people gonna say this is a crazy name, but Uncle Sambo.
Whoa.
That's I know. Listen, his real name is Jasper. That's another.
That's not better. That's not too much better. Wow.
But
wait a minute. He answered to Sambo.
My uncle answered to the name Sambo.
That was his nickname.
Did he understand what that name meant?
I'm assuming so. He was 84 years old.
This I want to know. First of all, condolences. Secondly, did he die at least knowing he was free?
Yeah. Wow.
Oh God, that was funny. Uncle Sambo, man. I love the man. Was a sweetheart.
That wasn't his birth name. That was like a nickname again.
That was his nickname, but damn, I didn't know his name was Jasper until I was probably like a teenager. So his name was Sambo.
That's what they. I mean, so was he a former slave or anything like that?
He's a farmer.
Okay.
Close to it. He was free-ish.
He was free-ish. Wow.
He made the last payment and passed away. Man, just sad.
So he identified with being free.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Before he left. Okay. As long as he identified.
No. There is something in the Constitution here that if you are named Jasper, they have a right to put you back in slavery whenever they want. If you Jasper, if you Jasper, that's just it.
That's it, man.
So there was no effort of a name change, or at any point in his life, there was no effort of that.
Even when Martin Luther King made a speech, "We shall overcome," he's still Sambo.
Wow.
What did his white co-workers call him? Now,
they call him Sambo. he worked a farm. They ran pigs and stuff like that.
R.I.P. Uncle Sambo.
R.I.P. Uncle Sambo.
Okay, yeah.
One of my favorite uncles, man. One of my favorite uncles. So let's see.
Plantation in the sky.
Oh God! Y'all got me crying here, man. Oh my God! I'm crying.
Oh my God! New meaning to the big house up in the sky, right?
Oh man, Uncle Sam, my family gonna kill me for this one, but they know. But y'all know I got that dark humor, so my friends got dark humor, so don't be mad at me, family. So first up on the chopping block tonight, we got Congress and Joe Biden. We talking about being free. We free-ish with Juneteenth being the national holiday now. And corporate America quickly follows after that. You know that he was gonna follow after that. Thoughts?
Hey,
don't be mad at my uncle. That's my uncle.
Yeah. Wow.
Hey, you can crack jokes. Listen, man. I think everything is funny, man.
Yeah.
I think they didn't have time. I think with the corporate thing, I don't think they had time to put anything out, right? They didn't have time to get anything together, to put any McDonald's commercials together or anything like that, right?
Not yet, but they was kind of doing a little bit of things on like some ads, but not next year they're going full blast with the red, black, and green vanilla, when the red, black, and green shakes. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna release the McRib on Juneteenth.
And the other thing that's important is I understand that Kelvin is now a franchise owner. Y'all remember when Kelvin started out?
Get out of serious?
No, but it would have been a good story.
Oh my God! So what y'all think about the Juneteenth with Biden and all these people signing?
Let me ask you a question, right? It's a national holiday now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that means that basically the post office to be closed and stuff like that.
Yep.
We could take off and get paid if you got a job.
Oh yeah. Well, you get holiday pay.
Okay.
If you got a government job.
That's where I'm going. If you got a state or government job.
Correct.
But regular people ain't gonna get paid when they take the day off.
No, you are. I think you are because the federal is gonna be just like I think
no.
I don't think so, D.
No, what happens is the corporations or the businesses it's still up to their own discretion. It's still up to their own discretion whether or not they want to whether or not they want to acknowledge it. But also the question is if you have a state job or a municipal job, you know what I mean? They also have to acknowledge it on the local level as well. But if you have a federal job, you're obviously you're
going to get the day off, and then
you get the day off. For postal.
But I'm talking about regular people. Like, is there anything in the bill that says a guy that works at Best Buy he can get the day off and get paid?
Producer Jamie says a floating holiday for most businesses.
Right, you can get that. They might, if they wish to acknowledge it, they may acknowledge it with a floating holiday or something like that.
But they have the choice.
They have a choice. Yeah, that's the point.
See, the thing is, that's where I'm going with this. You got to put something in the bill where they don't have no choice. You got to give it to them. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, we give you a holiday, but some people can choose not to pay you, and if you're not a state or government worker, then you can get paid. Right. Like I don't know, man. Like I want something that's guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you're never going to get that because
I know that.
Well, even because then you would make it over the other holidays because the 4th of July is a federal, but it's still not mandatory. Christmas, New Year's, all of this is still up to the employer. You know what I mean?
Explain to me what we're getting then. What are we getting?
No, you're just getting
that's what I think you're getting. You're getting up a symbolism.
Yeah,
it would have been policy changes and stuff and laws that we changed. Like why we have reparations up and stuff like that, and things like that. That should have been on the table. We talking about a holiday,
the thing is, my point is, they giving you a holiday, giving you something on paper that, like I said, people still got discretion on, but they're not. And the thing is, to me, this is an admission of guilt, right? Basically, And then I noticed how Joe Biden phrased it. He said, "We're going to commend this holiday about history of America, not the wrongdoing of America, history of America." So the thing is, correct. You got to pay attention to the plays on words and the way they phrase things. So they're giving you a holiday. Okay, you got a holiday, but what are you getting? You know what I'm saying? So like I said, the average person doesn't work for the government, doesn't work for the state. We're talking about regular people that's going to work every day, may work in an office, may, like I said, work for Best Buy or whatever. Like, what is it going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, reparations is more important. Like I said, I'm pro reparations, but I don't think it's going to happen. No. And like I said, this is always this thing where you just sprinkle a little salt on things, just to spice it up.
It's similar. If they don't give reparations, can we get the anti-lynching bill?
They didn't give you that, dude. You see what he couldn't get that.
Okay, so the one thing, I mean, somewhere along the line, we gotta be celebratory about this. A lot of people fought for this, and so there is, something to be said about acknowledge. I would have loved to have seen this come in under Obama, but I mean, it is good that because there are some people. There's a lady, like 84 years old. She's been fighting to get this to be a holiday more of the better part of her life.
Symbols can be powerful too. Symbols can be powerful.
I have one slight issue though. On another note, the guy that sold me this shirt said it was an original and nobody else had it. First of all, I'll have to talk to somebody about that. But no, I think it was a great step, especially for younger people and generations to come to see. And to me, I want banks closed and I want the post office closed, and if there's school, it should be out, and that's something that to me makes you that you're a nationally recognized holiday.
Remember Black Solidarity Day?
Yes, November.
Okay. Just disappeared, right?
Yep, just went away. You're right.
Just went away.
Good
point.
What I'm saying? They did the same thing with the Miss Black Awareness pageant. You don't see that no more.
Yeah, but the thing is, like I said, I'm not knocking it. But the thing is, what is it going to do? What is it going to do for us as Black people? You know what I'm saying? Like the thing is, reparations will make change. Reparations could change the wealth gap, could get you to pass on generations of your family, your children moving on, moving up and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm not knocking Juneteenth, but like, what is it going to do for us? They will give us something that seems to be shiny and pretty, but at the end of the day, it's not as shiny as pretty. It's like fool's gold. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like I said, I'm not knocking it. I'm glad they passed it. But the thing is, what is it going to do for us?
Yeah, so we've got a few comments, y'all. Jamie, can you bring some of the comments back up real quick? Y'all give his day off.
Is it a paid day off?
Well, I got it off. My job, I was one of the leading people fight for Juneteenth before it became popular. Yeah. So we already had this done.
We're talking about people with with good jobs or whatever that recognize it. But I'm talking about the guy that, like I said, works at Best Buy, works in the office, works for a private company or whatever. They don't have to give them nothing, and there's nothing they're going to probably do about it either.
But one good thing about Juneteenth, it's my birthday. So every year I got a day off.
That would be your birthday, G.
That's the takeaway,
right? Next year I turn 50, Juneteenth. And what else? One more thing. I turn 50 Juneteenth, and it's Father's Day next year on my birthday. And I want to have a little person jumping out of a cake for my birthday for my 50th, out of the 5 and the 0. So I'm just telling you now, I'll be there.
You're gonna have a what jumping out your cake?
A little person. I like them little women with the big butts.
We're never, ever. I don't care if we get June, July, we ain't never getting nowhere.
Let's go.
Jamie, I said the right word. I didn't say the other word. I ain't say the M word. I didn't call it M word.
People don't do that no more, D. We don't
jump out of cakes.
Take little people and put them in cakes to jump out.
If she's a paid artist, adult dancer, I'm paying her for her services to jump out of my cake.
She's an artist.
She's
an artist. Okay.
Yeah, she's an artist.
I want to know who's gonna eat that cake after.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyway, speaking of Juneteenth, on the topic of Juneteenth, Brian Kemp blocks making Juneteenth a paid holiday for state holiday down in Georgia. Thoughts?
This is just what I'm talking about. Like you got what's Brian Kemp, right?
Kemp, yeah, Brian Kemp. Yep.
That's Texas.
Is it Texas or Georgia? I thought it was Georgia.
Georgia.
No, Georgia. Yeah,
Georgia.
Yeah.
All right, so he's
keeping. Yeah, that's the thing.
He's keeping it all the way white.
Yeah.
My question is, how did Mississippi let them beat them to the punch?
Yeah.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
So Brian Kemp says
Alabama to come right.
So Brian Kemp says in Georgia that he's not going to allow people to be paid on that holiday, correct?
Correct. That's what he's doing right now. He's trying to block it.
That's what I'm saying. What are they giving you?
Yeah.
The thing is, in certain states, the governor's in charge, right? Certain things they don't have to.
It ain't like get a week. He did like the next day, like 24 hours. He did this shit. Like
Yeah, no, the governor is the president of each state. You
But so state employees don't get it in Georgia.
Yeah. No, I mean that's it.
Predictable. The usual.
But see, the thing is, the right wing, which Brian Kemp is, basically, they don't like to admit to that any how white America has done things in the past as far as history with black people. So they always trying to erase it. They always trying to act like it don't happen. So this is part of Mr. Kemp trying to erase history. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But like I told you,
to teach their own history.
Yeah, correct. He's still continuing the good old boy network to be alive and well.
No, that's it. You know, it's the separation between federal and state. Mm-hmm. You know, like they always try to pass a federal, a federal law, and what would the Republicans always say? Oh, that's a states' rights issue. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you already know. So even though that they can, they may acknowledge it federally, which is a nice little feather in the cap, a little, whatever, add a boy, pat on the back, whatever you call it. But it's going to be down to each state that's going to determine, whether or not they're going to, participate.
So other governors could follow suit if they wanted to.
Easily.
And then if other governors get elected, they can come in and make the change and not allow it to. So, like I say,
that's a good point. This is what Reese said. Sorry, not to cut you off. That's a very good point. Schools in the South are already open in May, so it doesn't really affect them.
Yeah, school. Yeah.
That's so true. That's so true. Thank you, Reese, for that.
And what would Juneteenth? If it was a federal holiday, does that mean that also means they wouldn't necessarily celebrate it on the day itself? It would be like maybe, let's say, because don't they usually do like the Monday or the Friday?
It depends on what day it falls on the week. If it falls on a Saturday, it's a Friday. If it falls on Sunday, it's a Monday.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Correct. And what if it just lands in the middle of the week? Because it's always changing. So so I don't know how to figure it out. But
and since we're on politics, we had a mayor, the primary elections going on yesterday that's closed out, and some of it hasn't been settled. But right now, the clear leader right now is our brother Eric Adams. And the second, I think, is Maya Riley, and then that lady Garcia, I think Miss Garcia, and then I think punk ass Andrew Yang is conceded.
That's his name, punk ass Andrew Yang.
Conceded his dumb ass, opportunist ass, conceded yesterday. So, any thoughts on the election yesterday?
He tried to form an alliance at the end, and it backfired. And the funny thing was, he was like, I want anybody that's voting for me to pick her, I think the sanitation commissioner, as their second choice, and she, returned the favor, And Andrew Yang, to me, the more I heard him, the least impressed I was.
Tell us how you feel.
Tiger, what up, Tiger?
Not wearing a tie when you ran for president, I just thought it looked bad, and I just don't. I don't get it. He definitely didn't impress. So I'm glad he's out of the way. And Eric Adams, first of all, let me say this. I can't say I was overly impressed with anybody in the field. I just think whoever runs for New York mayor just doesn't seem like this is a job a lot of people want for whatever reason. But Eric Adams, I think there's some good things. I do think ultimately he will be the mayor. And I think one thing he does care, I believe, about the city. And as Rodney knows, he's former law enforcement. So there's some things that he will be able to do regarding, the relationship with the community and the police. And hopefully he understands that we've lost, I believe they reported $34 billion worth of resources when a lot of millionaires and billionaires got out of the city during COVID. So I wish the best to Eric Adams, and hopefully they can get this process. I don't think anybody likes ranked choice voting, but hopefully they can get this underway and we can get a clear-cut nominee. And obviously, whoever it is going to beat the Republican candidate in November.
Well, speaking of, you said nobody wearing a tie. Curtis Sliwa won the Republican candidate. He's the leading Republican candidate, and he wears a red beret. Yeah. Imagine your mayor wearing a red beret every day.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually a raspberry beret, tell you too.
But Kelvin, I do know of Eric Adams. I don't know him personally, but I used to work with his brother, and I was on the job when he was on the job. He's a retired police captain. I'm going to say that Eric Adams is kind of solid because, there were times where Eric Adams took the police department on head on. You know what I mean? Actually going up to the police commissioner's office, trying to get things done with the police commissioner or whatever. He was also the former president of the 100 Black law enforcement. So I can't say anything negative about him that I know of. I think he's a pretty solid dude. But like I said, I work with his brother. I know his brother personally. He was pretty solid too.
I would say this just as an outsider, live in Long Island, so I don't have a dog in the fight, but it seems New York City is whoever gets the job, they have to leave a city with a perception that it's in decline, as you alluded to before, Kelvin. Billionaires and millionaires, they're leaving out of the city and frankly moving to Long Island, a bunch of them, So and right now the people who are still there seems to be the people who couldn't leave. That's just the way it seems on the outside looking in. So whoever you get, man, they got their job really cut out for them. So I
wouldn't say they couldn't leave. I wouldn't say they couldn't leave. I think that he chose to stay. For Eric Adams, I think because he's really a New Yorker at heart, originally from Queens, worked and lived in Brooklyn. I think he's just a New Yorker at heart. I think that to me is a true New Yorker, So that's why I think he just loves his city. So I can't blame him from staying. You know what I'm saying?
I understand that. And I think that obviously you never count out New York City. It's just this is it's a worldwide pandemic. It's a blip. So, we're definitely expecting a rebound, and whoever gets to be the man, during the rebound and who can orchestrate that, sky's the limit for them politically, So
one question I heard on Salad Radio, which I think was on the Clay King show, was a very, very good question. I wish Eric Adams would have came to the show. He asked the question, what two mayors would you most likely consider yourself like? Would you like? Was it David Dinkins? I like that question. If we ever could get Eric Adams on the show, Jamie, if you get Eric Adams on there, that's gonna be one of the questions. What two mayors would you pick from before that you would take something from? So I think it'd be because New York mayors have never lived up to its full potential. Not one of them. So they always drop the ball.
There's one thing I can also say about Eric Adams. Like, not only you can see that he understands politics, but he used to be former NYPD, so he knows all the NYPD's little dirty little secrets. So the bottom line is there's a lot of things that he could possibly, like I said, sometimes when people get into politics, they change, but he can actually go in there and know what the problems are and actually has the ability to actually do something about it.
He may know where the bodies are buried, so to speak.
Well, he's going to know where the bodies are buried.
He's a survivor of police brutality. One of my friends just texted me and told me he was born in Brooklyn, so he's that guy. So we definitely can rally behind him. One thing that disturbs me about the city, and I hate when people come from other cities and they come in, the first thing they tell me is New York is dirty looking. And it is. We got to do something about it. New York just looks dirty. It just looks grimy. I mean, you go to other cities, you go to Houston, you go to DC, you go, these places look new, they look clean. New York just looks dirty. Somebody just need to come out there and just clean New York up.
We're old city, and that's one thing. And then we have so many people on top of one another. So that's a little different. The density population. That's why the virus spreads, stuff like that. So, but I agree with you on the dirt. Like I tell my big son Chicken Wing, stop dumping all the time. I rather, but he can't resist. He's just ignorant as hell. But I love it.
The thing is, like, when I leave town, I always notice like even people on the side of the road cleaning up or whatever. But you only see people in the Manhattan cleaning up with those, walking around with those garbage cans and those brooms and those dustpans cleaning up, because that's where the tourists are. So they clean where the money's at, but they're not going to clean the outskirts because that's not where the tourists are going.
Yeah, exactly.
So all it's designed. It's about saving money, not giving people jobs, because you can have people out cleaning out all day in the city if you wanted to.
Exactly, especially people that do these crimes. They can pay back some stuff, some restitution. You don't even know the snow in the city. It could snow 10 inches today, and tomorrow you wouldn't even know it snowed in Manhattan.
Yeah, and if you notice something too, you remember, like, if we have a big snow, what do the sanitation do? They hire people just for like a day or two to go shovel out the curbs and stuff like that. Yeah. But and after that, they're basically unemployed again. The city needs a lot of cleaning.
Well, speaking of the police department, 4 NYPD police officers say new affidavits that arrest quota system target Black and Latino New Yorkers. I'll let Rodney lead with this one. What do you think, Rod? Do you think it's a quota?
Surprise! Yeah, I mean the thing is, it's no secret. There's quotas in the police department. They don't openly say them, but there absolutely are quotas in the police department. There are arrest quotas, there's summons quotas, and then there's actually ramifications for people that don't meet those quotas. It's just a fact.
So what are some of real quick? This is like I'm interviewing right now. What's some of the ramifications for people that don't meet those quotas? What happens usually?
Well, usually you won't get any overtime. If you're like in a detail, which is like a special unit, then basically you usually when you're in a detail in your special unit, you got certain days off. So basically it can threaten to kick you out of that unit if you're not performing up to par, and then you lose those days off. You know what I'm saying? So, or you could be bounced back to patrol, which is basically just riding around in a police car answering jobs. That's considered the low tier of the police department. So there's absolutely consequences for not meeting a quota. You know what I mean? I've seen situations where supervisors, a certain guy didn't meet a quota on overtime, and at the end of the night he didn't have the number, and he took him back out to get it. But the thing is, they're not going to believe that
police department,
no. They're not going to believe that the activity is not there. You know what I'm saying? They don't take that like, listen, there's nobody out there for me to basically give a summons to. They don't take that as an answer. So then basically, which forces the cops to not have discretion, and they actually go out there and harass people because they need that number.
But man, this to me is a weird situation because, all right, it's like, don't you supposed to keep the crime down? Wouldn't that be looking as a good job?
Okay. See,
then, why are you trying to arrest people to make it look like it's a bad situation?
Correct.
But it's a good situation. Like, I don't get it. Like, they don't do that in Beverly Hills. Like, arrest people in Beverly Hills. No, you got Beverly Hills in a nice neighborhood. So you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of bugged out.
What happened is the biggest mistake that the police department ever did is it went corporate, right? So when I say it went corporate entities always base things on numbers, right? So now you're sending the cops out there with these quotas that they have to fulfill, which actually takes their discretion away. So now I'm forced to give you the summons. I'm forced to lock you up, where you could say, normally I wouldn't have locked this person up, or normally I wouldn't give them the summons, but I need this summons so I can stay out of trouble. So now the community, which is most likely the Hispanic and Black community, they become numbers to people. They're not people no more. They're just numbers. So they go out there and they grab these numbers, and this is what happens. And this is why we have these incidents as well, because the cops are pushing to get these numbers, and it creates this hostility with the community and the cops. Because the cops have no discretion when they need those numbers.
So my next question, Rod, do you think that Eric Adams will be able to help change that?
If like you know how I am, D. Like I know how politics are, and I know sometimes when people get into politics, they change, but he does have the power to change that. You know what I mean? Like they measure each officer based on an activity report that they used to do, but they got rid of it. And then they have like this evaluation system that they do on. It's all based on activity. And the thing is, some people are not treated the same. You have some people that they push, okay, I need this and this and this from you. But then you have some people that you say, oh, he didn't make his number this week. It's all right. He'll make it next week. So it's not an even playing field either.
So what are your thoughts if Curtis Slewa becomes mayor with the red beret? And then you saw that cocksucker Giuliani was behind him yesterday cheering him on. So
yeah, well, if Curtis Slewa becomes the mayor, then basically he'll change the police hat to a freaking a beret. That's what he'll do. Everybody be walking around with berets on.
Raspberry berry.
Yeah.
yeah, Sophia. Yes, you're right. Yep.
But that's the problem. It's all a numbers game. It's just a numbers game. They have to stop. Like when I first came on the job, they didn't push activity as much. But when I first came on the job, there was a lot more crime in New York City. You know what I mean? But that's definitely the problem. That was Giuliani and Bloomberg's doing, and Bloomberg came in with a corporate mentality. So he was the one that totally changed the system of the police department, and also was responsible for that stop, question, and frisk stuff that the police department was doing. And by the way, we got our former police commissioner, Ray Kelly, who in my opinion was the worst police commissioner in the history of the police department. He is endorsing the Manhattan DA, a lady named, I think the name is Elizabeth.
Oh, I know. So if I was on my phone with this, I would pull it up. Cause
maybe Chammy can help me out.
Yeah.
She's a lady.
You got Kelly as the worst. Where you got Carrick at?
Carrick. Oh, Carrick. Believe it or not, Carrick. I know you're looking at Carrick from a criminal aspect, which he is a criminal. But if we're going to talk about him as a police commissioner, but if we're talking about him as a police commissioner, then I'm going to say he's not as bad, wasn't as bad as Ray Kelly. I think Ray Kelly, you know, in my opinion, I think he did some racist things. You know what I'm saying?
No question.
So, yeah. And his son was wild. His son was wild. Remember, his son got kicked out of New York from the news because he was wild in the bedroom scene.
Yeah. But I was about to say, the lady that I can't think of her last name. Well, she's running for Manhattan DA, and she's being endorsed by Ray Kelly and all of the police unions. So what is that?
That go to tell you right there.
Correct. What does that tell you?
You talking about bitch ass Patrick Lynch and all them motherfuckers, man?
Yes. How do you allow the law enforcement unions to endorse you as a DA? So that tells me right there that you're going to favor the cops in any situation. So that means a lot more people are going to go to jail. You're not going to probably prosecute a cop if he has to be prosecuted.
I think Jamie just gave us a name right there, Liza Orleans.
Yeah. So she's running for Manhattan DA. Like I said, she's endorsed by Ray Kelly, who basically is a disgraced police commissioner, in my opinion. So I don't know. He don't hold no weight in my eyes.
Well, the people of Seattle, for Pride in Seattle, are planning to charge white people up to $50 fees to join the parade and reparation. The event is going down Saturday in Seattle. Jimi Hendrix Park is being hosted by the Black and brown members of the LGBT community. So $50 to go towards reparations. Thoughts?
That's going to be very interesting because I think we have to start that around here. Everything extra surcharge for everything. I'll be honest with you. Let me just say this. I'm very, very conscious of speaking about communities which I'm not a part of, and I'm not a part of that community. So I don't understand exactly a community that is about inclusion, how they will exclude someone else, because what if that person is white and gay? Don't they have a right to go to that without being extra charged? That's what I would think. I mean, and I don't want to look at it like, oh, because I would not have any interest in going because I'm not part of that community. I just think it has to be the principle of just fairness. You know what I mean? Because if you can do that, you've got to base it on something. If not, then you may charge somebody Black an extra $50 for going to an event that you want to exclude them from or something like that, or you feel that the person is indebted to you because of whatever. So I think there has to be some type of context as to why you do that, because once we start doing that, it sounds divisive. It just does.
Well, so I think you may be looking at it one way, right? But then there's another way too that you could kind of look at it. It could be looked upon as, are you going to be an ally, right? So that community, you know, and again, as you say, I can't speak on it because I'm not a member of that community, but from what I've heard, you know, it's about inclusion, and what it is they are tight knit. They're saying, and it's almost like making your bones, or making you prove yourself that you are an ally. You know what I mean? If you know that the Black members of your community are obviously due reparations or have this issue and you're all supposed to be together, then here's the $50 fee. Everybody pays it, and we know that it's going towards this one thing, you know, which is reparations. You know, so I mean, it could be, you can look at it that way as well. You know, not necessarily a thing that you know, that you're not necessarily a discriminatory thing, as much as it is a proving yourself type of thing. You know?
But it seems like I'm attacking you for being white because we've faced oppression from white people.
So here's my question to him. One of them, a white person, identify as a Black gay person.
D, you would come up with that question.
You're right. You're right.
D, don't start that shit.
I'm just saying, because if I identify as like whatever, people say I identify as this. So what if I identify as a Black radical gay person.
Good point. That's why I'm not at their meetings though. So
I'm just saying, but I'm saying like you can't like that whole discrimination. The $50 charge is kind of it's bugged out because people can say they identify as a rooster, and like you know what I'm saying, like, and I want my cornflakes.
Right. You know, man, basically. Black people just like we gonna get some reparations somewhere. Like you gonna pay. You gonna pay something. I know you got it.
Somebody gotta give us something. Oh man. Speaking of things that's changing up, Wingstop launches Thigh Stop, a chicken thigh focused on virtual. I guess. Everything's identified as a wing now, even the thighs is wing.
Yeah.
So,
you know what's next,
wings
right?
are identified as thighs now, right?
You know what's next, right? When they run low on thighs, then they're gonna do pig feet. That's what they're gonna do. That's what they're gonna do. I know it's coming.
I know
man. And so black man.
I know it's because we have
nobody black walking in there. I'm sorry, bro.
I know we have a wing shortage, but goddamn thighs, man. Just sell nuggets. Just say wings nuggets or something like thighs.
Yeah, man.
Thighs make your car smell longer. That chicken smell you can't get out your car.
More meat on the thigh, though. More meat on the thigh. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Are they going to do the thighs with the skin on it or the skin off?
I don't know. Ask Rick Ross. I have no idea.
I'm assuming.
How is
that on what zip code is going to be in, but I'm assuming it's going to be skin on.
Got to be skin on. Got to be fried. We like it. We want all that. We want all that grease. We want all that cholesterol. Give me all
crunch.
that.
Yeah.
I don't even like the chicken at all. It's just like to me, it's like trash. I don't even know wings. Ugh.
Everybody likes chicken.
Yeah, but that Wingstop, man. It's like going to Buffalo Wild Wings is trash.
Wait, hold on a second. Oh, I thought you was talking about wings and things in Hempstead.
No.
I'm
about to say, brother.
I want Wingstop. We got Wingstop on Mary Boulevard. That goes to show you right there how good that shit must be.
There's two out here by me. They're all over the place. They're popping up all over the place.
Yeah, but they don't season. They just they fry the chicken. No Lyrus. No garlic pepper. You know what I'm saying?
They don't season salt on that chicken, man.
Yeah, they don't season. They just throw it in the sauce. They got young kids working there, man.
Put some salt and pepper on it.
Not even like thighs. They're gonna have unseasoned thighs. Like who want a thigh taking all the flavor? Now how you not gonna season the thigh right? Like it's gonna be trash, man. I'm messing with it, man. I passed on that and that Popeye's chicken sandwich. They
got something. They might those thighs might stick around though when the wing shortage clears up, man. You know that may not be a bad idea, man.
But how many pieces of thighs do you get? The thigh's big. How many pieces of thighs?
I don't know, but it's like a Big Mac or something. So.
Wait, they got buffalo thighs?
Yeah, gonna have a buffalo thigh. Lemon pepper thigh.
Yeah.
Garlic Parmesan thigh. I know all the chicken flavors. You see my big ass, we're always in the wing spots, man. I'm always in the wing spots. But since we're on the topic of food, Subway tuna sandwich found to contain no tuna fish in the DNA. Now there's gonna be a lawsuit, I believe, after this. Thoughts on no tuna in the tuna fish?
We should be, because I'm assuming there's no salmon in there. So I don't think they grade. I think they went down. So yeah, when I think of all of the things that look like tuna that it could possibly be, none of them that are good come to mind. That's all I'll say.
Is it a tilapia? I never seen nobody say they went fishing and caught a tilapia.
Me neither.
I think tilapia is a man-made fish, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I was saying you never seen nobody fish for that shit.
Yeah.
What can it be? I never liked Subway. I used to work at Subway. I don't know if Jamie remember. I worked at Subway like for a week and quit because the meatballs was even fresh. Remember that time they had the bread wasn't messed up. The bread had rubber and they had to change their bread. I was working. They had Subway just got a lot of.
I never really liked Subway because to me, the best thing from Subway back in the day was the cookies. But
facts. Big facts.
I never really liked. I like the old school. See, I come from Long Island initially, and Long Island was known for good delis back in the '80s. Real good delis.
To this day, I'm sorry.
I mean, a real sandwich made. So all this crap. I like pizza, not from these Pizza Hut and all that. I like Gino's Scragagacci to be up in the kitchen throwing it up. That's what I like. I'm old school. And the same thing with sandwiches. So I don't really like Subway. Subway's just. And then Jared, he was like a pedophile or something. He is
a pedophile.
He's a pedophile. He might have been putting the secret sauce in it.
See, I knew D, when you're supposed to get off at an exit, D go 1, 2, 5.
Is he out of jail yet? I don't even know.
I don't know. I know he did go to jail though.
He shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Didn't I hear something about KFC not being real chicken? They couldn't, and then that's why they changed it away from chicken. It became KFC, not Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore because they couldn't prove
Blimpies. Wow, somebody brought Blimpies. I remember. I think Tiger. If he's still on the Tiger, used to love some damn Blimpies.
Blimpies was better than Subway, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Blimpies
never looked clean, but it was better.
No, I never looked clean, and it was always very dark in there too. Like
very dark.
You would go into Blimpies and be depressed.
It was like they was making a sandwich on a 40-watt softball.
Yeah.
It was dark, man.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you a funny story about KFC. One time I pulled up in the KFC drive-thru, and I'm not joking. They told me that they were out of chicken.
Oh, it happened to me. Rockaway Boulevard.
Wow. That's where I went. They said, I said, why are you even open? The only thing you sell is chicken. What else do I want from here? They were out of chicken.
They only had sides and coleslaw.
Okay.
Who the fuck eats coleslaw?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over here to order some coleslaw.
Okay, well, get some coleslaw.
Yeah.
Some corn. And they notice KFC cut the corn on the cob down to like about this big.
I never used to eat it.
I don't eat corn on the cob. I just notice my mom every time I get the KFC, it's small, man. That's her Sophia Rockaway and Basie. She know it.
That was it.
Right up. Rockaway.
Only chicken place runs out of chicken and still stays open. I can't understand it.
Fact. I don't get it.
What happened to Church's chicken?
It's still in the South. It's still open.
In the South, yeah. Remember the big grease piece they used to sell?
Yo, the mad big chunk of flour. I don't know what was on it.
No, there was a piece that I can't remember what piece it was, but it was a piece you used to bite into it and the grease would just squirt in your mouth. It was crazy. It was too greasy.
I think we messed up people's cholesterol just talking about this tonight. I mean,
word up. I got my blood pressure went up. I gotta go get my pills.
Man. Popeyes had the biscuits though, man. That's what Popeyes was about. That's the only reason I went.
So you got the biscuits, but you got to drink a damn gallon of water.
Yeah.
No conversation eating Popeyes biscuits.
Popeyes got good sweet tea though.
Great sweet tea, actually.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just because my friend just texted me about the Chinese restaurant. So those little ribs, what animal do those come from in the Chinese restaurant?
I don't know.
Churches used to be in White Castle. Wow.
Yo, and the thing is, why those rib tips? So what the hell is a rib tip out in Chinese race? That's a good question, Kelvin.
I don't know.
And why is it so red?
So red. Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, what they did was years ago, they came under question with McDonald's fillet of fish, and they wanted to know what fish it was. So McDonald's proved that it's a fish that they catch in the Pacific somewhere.
I thought it was cod all this year.
It's cheap fish. It's some cheap fish. But it's actual something in the Pacific.
That shit is probably goldfish. That's what it probably is.
Motherfuckers eating Nemo's. Sam says Alaskan cod.
Fish.
Jamie says, so Jamie, we got a little controversy going on. Not controversy, a little Kanye West has been back in the news. Jamie, can you play the video of Kanye West real quick for us?
Does it not rub you the wrong way, but does it get to your core when people do
definitely
feel
don't
like
rub me the right way? This definitely ain't gonna Johnny Gill.
What do you say to people that say you turned your back on the culture or
exactly 100%? I have turned my back on the idea of victimization mentality. We are locked up. We went from 1 and 4. We went from 1 and 4 to 1 and 3, but we always pointing at the white people, but yet we want to spend all of our money on foreigns. We want to spend all our money on luxury as opposed to going and buying some land. America is for sale, and there's a lot of barren land. Disney bought a lot of it in Florida, But the culture has you focused so much on fucking somebody, bitch, and pulling up in a foreign and rapping about things that could get you locked up and then saying you about prison reform. Like, it's, bro, we brainwashed out here, bro. Come on, man, this is a free man talking. Democrats had us voting Democrats for food stamps for years, bro. What is you talking about? Guns in the 80s, taking the fathers out the home, Plan B, lowering our votes, making us abort our children. God should not kill. I can't tell y'all how to feel, but what I can tell you honestly is how I feel. And when I sat there 7 years in, 6 years in to the Obama administration, when I was sitting at the Met balls, when I was sitting in front of white people and they thought, I wouldn't thought you would like Trump because of the racism. So you mean to tell me I make every decision based off my color? The most racist thing a person could tell me is that I'm supposed to choose something based on my race. If that was the case, I wouldn't have never wore a pink polo. I wouldn't have never wear skinny jeans. Everywhere I go, people pants smaller than mine. And I'm the one who, you eat fish sticks because I had skinny jeans on.
Thoughts before I say something.
Yo, is this another one of Kanye West's crazy rants? You know, it's not the first time he's done it. This is a guy that basically got rich off the black culture himself, right? And he talked about people buying foreigns. He's rapping about buying foreigns. What he said in this song, you pop the trunk, I pop the hood, Ferrari, right? And that made everybody go out and buy Ferraris that could afford one, right? This is a guy that was walking around with a MAGA hat or acting like Trump was a god, right? This is a guy that was promoting expensive brands, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, for black people to buy, right? Pushing very expensive sneakers. I think at one time he even claimed he was Jesus. And then he also downplayed slavery. This is the same Kanye West, right? Kanye West ain't in no position to be talking about this right now. Like I said, if he's changing, I'm all for a person making changes. But the thing is, you can't rape the culture yourself, and then now let's talk about people are brainwashed. The thing is, like I said, I saw Kanye West up in that Oval Office, literally up Trump's ass. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if these are another one of his rants or whatever, but he doesn't have a place to make statements like that, in my opinion. And some of that shit doesn't even make sense. Yeah, like
like you said it best. Like he raped the culture.
He did.
He talked about foreign cars, Louis store, Gucci, fucking other guys, women. Correct. When Big Boy asked him the question of the culture, he's saying like we play victim. The culture doesn't play victim. He's talking about the culture. With victimizing, people are always playing victim. Right now, white men are playing victim when they're talking about cancel culture. When they're talking about people are woke. So people, so when he says that, like, Kanye, you's a bitch. Your sneakers are mad expensive, and you wanted people to buy these expensive sneakers. You just started making affordable bullshit ass what them shits look like Croc sneakers now, right? Yeah. Like, come on, like those foreign Walking Dead clothes, expensive. Expensive. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the bottles of liquor and all that stuff. Like, you just seen guys like Jules and Teep and all that stuff, like talking about walking up into Jacobs on the chain. Correct. Like, you can't get on people for the shit you made them go get to try to be like you.
And that's the thing. You got to watch what you say, man, because on one level, you just said he was doing all of this stuff before, but now he's not down with the culture, all right, that he started. It's almost like he just threw poison out there for everybody. Now you step away and you just kind of like, whatever, look at y'all, you're come on, man. But I'm going to tell you, he did say one thing that I like, though, which made, because, again, a broken clock, right? He said that instead of spending all of our money on all these other things, we should be buying land, all right? And I appreciate that. I appreciate him for saying that, you know what I mean? And I applaud him for that much consciousness.
But Derik, look how late it's saying.
Look about 5-6 albums ago. You could have said that 5-6 albums ago.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I wish you would have said it sooner. You know what I mean? But
with a chainsaw that cut up a Bentley in the video.
Yeah.
I'd rather take a chain and go to Jacobs and go ignorant. This is the person. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, everybody comes to this epiphany. The second thing is this: people need to be very conscious about this victim thing. when you have been oppressed and have been the victim, you don't have to play victim.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying? That, you know, I'll just say this, for what the country has done to black people, you could take whether you think black people exploiting welfare or whatever the case is, it pales in comparison to what was taken from us as a people. And so what I'm saying is, you get to a certain status. You know, when I was sitting at the Met Gala and stuff like that, you still sitting there looking like an ornament when you're sitting there. You know, now you're at a table where white people question saying they didn't think you would like Trump. The reality of it is they have you at that table for a reason, and you had to jump through hoops to be at the table, and you're playing a position at a table. You see what I'm saying?
And all this stuff, I never seen him.
No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, he was being used, and he won't acknowledge that.
And he
was brainwashed at that moment when he was walking around with that MAGA hat. You know what I'm saying? So now here's the thing is, you know, you were up Trump's ass because it was in your best interest. I don't know, man. I don't know if Trump had something on you or whatever, or you just like the tax cuts because you're a multimillionaire now and that works for you. You know what I'm saying? So you're leaving everybody behind, you know? But like I said, if he's changing and he's just woke up, okay, that's fine. Continue to do that. But, you know I don't trust Kanye at all.
He was in a different room back then, man. He was around rich, let's just say what it is, rich white folk, you know what I mean? And they were telling him, and he was feeling like he was a part of something. You know, that's what I feel. And then I think it kind of reflected in his music, you know what I mean? And not just his music, but just the way he did business and the way he presented himself and everything. I always felt like Kanye had some consciousness in him. He had some social responsibility in him. He certainly was brought up that way through his mother, you know, God rest her. But, you know, and he just kind of took this detour, and maybe he's coming back. But I think he did a lot of damage.
Nah, you can't come back when you, to me, like when he say he blamed the Democrats, left wing, right wing, all part of the same bird. You got he's not remembering the part that the Republicans are trying to stop black people from voting.
Correct. He's not talking about that.
He's not getting like all the policies, Antilynching Bill, striking down. All of these kind of policies that his people have just keep saying no. But he's not even mentioning that.
No,
so that's what I'm saying. Like, he's still a brain fuck motherfucker. Why are you doing it?
Have you ever had a conversation with somebody and you just knew they were detached? It's something there. In other words, no matter what you discuss, they go into another, you know, realm.
And they get away from the run from the topic.
Kelvin. Yes,
they are unhinged. I don't like being unbridled. I see that with Kanye West.
Yeah, I see where you're going.
I see that with Kyrie Irving. In other words, I don't mind your position. What I'm saying is how you arrive at it is always weird, and I don't always want to take the journey with you. And I think that's one of the issues. Kanye West, to me, always seems like a young man that is at war with himself. There is something very unsettled with him. And I'll tell you what I think it is. I think whatever you have to do to get into this game, whatever you have to do to get into this position, there's some things that I think go against who you actually are, that you make concessions and you do it. And I think ultimately you have a conflict within yourself that rages and it won't let you be settled. I've never seen so many unhappy, miserable, famous millionaires. And I see it a lot from this culture. I see it a lot from that field. And entertainment is nothing to play with. And Hollywood is known for it. And I think you got
like
and then to get with the Kardashians and things like that, I don't see rationale there. I don't see logic there, and I don't see common sense there.
No.
Yeah, Serene said he's always on a rant.
Yeah, that's what I said. Was this one of his rants again to basically grab some attention? You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, it was definitely that. I
maybe
agree with you that.
Me personally, it could be a marketing thing. Maybe he's getting ready to come out with something, maybe his new clothing brand or whatever, and he's just, you know, getting a whole bunch of views for his loyal supporters to buy it. I like I tell you,
have to do that. There's still something wrong with that at this stage.
Correct. You're selling out the culture. That's selling out the culture right there.
Yeah, and Malcolm X always says, beware about entertainers.
Yeah.
Malcolm told us a long time ago. So speaking of entertainers, our brother Michael B. Jordan changed the name of his rum brand after Nicki Minaj comments. He had a rum brand called Juve. People don't know, and he was coming out with a rum brand, and Nicki Minaj made some comments, and she would very nicely, Jamie, I would say she did it very nicely and tasteful to make him change the name of that. And before I comment, thoughts.
Boy, I wish, you know, I'm obviously not of Caribbean descent, I don't know where it's going in terms of like, all right, cultural appropriation. That's usually something that we're reserved for people of a different hue, it seems. You know what I mean? It's usually, white folk culturally appropriating black, whatever, style of dress, the way we wear our hair, the way we speak. It seems interesting that we're getting that from the American and Caribbean side now. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't know what to really make of it, other than if I would say, as a black man who has lived this life forever, if there are a significant amount of people who are of Caribbean descent and they do feel that his coach that is not cool, then maybe he should change it. Maybe he should be sensitive to it and fall back. So it's I don't know. Just it's a tough thing. He spent all that time. I would like to hear how he came to that name. What was the inspiration?
Well, I'll say first of all, we gotta thank Michael B. Jordan, because one thing our community has been struggling with is a lack of alcohol. That's the first thing we have here. So first we will thank Michael Jordan for that. You know what I'm saying? We put out the wrong choices. Secondly, I think what it is if you're going to come up with a name for something and someone actually could have you change it that fast, analytically, I don't think you did your homework. Yeah. That's a lot to start a brand. I always subscribe to that old mantra, you measure twice and cut once. If you came to that name, you're supposed to have a think tank that actually will bounce this stuff around beforehand. So I think it was just kind of a misstep. I will say, to her credit, I do think she handled it tactfully. I will say that.
Look what Reese said, y'all, and then I'm gonna make my statement after this. And she's right about
our own. Yeah, we was outraged when George Clooney made Casamigos tequila. Yeah, well, and we are critical of our own, aren't we? I think we have I think obviously we have a different standard for ourselves than others have for them and how they relate to us. And and yeah, sometimes it's inconvenient, but maybe it's just simply the right thing. And sometimes the right thing is just inconvenient,
Did Nicki Minaj ever think he was going to shine light to the Caribbean culture? Besides, like, most of us that live in New York, we know what Juve is. Most of the people that's come from the Caribbean, but it could have made it more globally known, for one thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it would have been nice. I mean, that I don't think she ever did. I just think she got, I just think she was just, angry or whatever you want to call it. She just decided to get, upset about it or whatever.
See, the problem with this is, Derik, I'm sorry to cut you. This is the problem to me. What happens is this. Now, when it comes to, constructive criticism, so the people that thought Nicki Minaj's music was too racy for kids and stuff like that, if they wanted her to pull back on that, what would have been the answer? That's what I'm saying when it comes to entertainment. That's when it comes to money and people's profit and things like that. People kind of pick and choose where they want to have their stand at. You see what I'm saying? And so everybody wants to kind of have the issue that affects you. So she, as a Caribbean person, felt that's offensive. You know what I mean? There's some people that feel, some of her lyrics may be offensive. So then what do you do?
Listen, I'm telling you, Serene's nothing wrong. There are many businesses that have used our culture, give them the same energy. Juve is a wonderful name, required education on his part, but no need to change the name. Yeah, I mean, listen, I remember at one point I think we had a conversation about reparations, and then you had people from the Caribbean culture who jumped in and said they don't feel like Black Americans should be asking for reparations. Right. And my answer to that was, fall back. It ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? It's like, go get your check somewhere else. How can you tell somebody else how to live and what's important to them? Mm-hmm. And I gotta get that same energy, and I'm just giving it the same energy. You know what I mean?
And let's take a Pan-Africanism. We expose like he's another brother. Like, so we're gonna talk about Pan-Africanism, right? He's just a brother. If we look at black, there's nobody gonna say you're West Indian, you're black when the white name was coming out. They're gonna see it as black. So he should salute the brother. This is the same chick that got a pedophile ass brother and the sex offender husband making criticism of a damn rum. And her music alone She got chicks doing all kind of stuff with drinks and all kind of stuff. Like, come on, sis. Really? This is what you
I don't know.
complain about?
I would just like
all the other shit going on with women and all the other things you could have did. You gonna come out to the brother about having a rum that's gonna explore, that's gonna show off the culture, the name of Juve.
And that's my point.
I would just like to hear what the consensus is. If we were able to get a consensus of people of Caribbean descent, I would just have to show them that respect. How do y'all feel about it?
If y'all look at Black America, Black Twitter, and all that stuff, they tore her ass a new ass out.
Okay, well then that's what's up. Then that's what's up. Yeah, that's it.
Pull up what Tiger said. Pull up what Tiger said.
Like, you can't dictate that to someone. You know what I mean?
If it wasn't for Swiss Beats calling out Gucci, Dapper Dan wouldn't be back in the game. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And what Serene just said something too. Okay.
Oh no, you just stepped on my toes. And T-Whip Barbados and a few other CARICOM countries have petitioned for reparations. Just saying. Okay, that's what's up.
That's right. Now, that's what those islands need reparations too. They need to go to England and all these places.
I can't tell another culture how they should respond, to the situation. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you have to keep the same. You have to keep the same energy. You know what I mean? I tell somebody how they respond to the situation. They move different about it. I don't see the problem. Okay, that's what's up, energy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's my man Tiger. He damn sure won. That motherfucker used to bring back goat in the car with us every time from college, man.
Yes,
and my car smelling like damn Golden Cross and shit for fucking 12 hours and shit. That's my dude.
Yo, it was a live goat.
That motherfucker have a whole fucking half goat in that back of my car, man. Fucking shit, man. Yo, Jamie, take us to commercial real quick, brother.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Dawn Kelly, and I'm the founder and CEO of The Nourish Spot, a healthy food and beverage haven in Southeast Jamaica, Queens. Chosen in 2019 as Micro Business of the Year by the U.S. Small Business Administration. My adult children, Jade and Owen Duncan, and I established The Nourish Spot to provide affordable access to healthy produce, to help our neighbors combat chronic diseases, to provide jobs for a diverse community youth. And it's no secret that small businesses play a critical role in the local economy. It's also proven that community is vital to the growth of small businesses. So come, let us nourish you at The Nourish Spot. We're open Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 6, and Saturdays 10 to 6 p.m.
Welcome back at the commercial break. my sponsors. Thank you for not leaving us from the words that Kelvin and Derik and Rod said.
Oh, you went in and nowhere, huh? All right.
Yo, you got a lot of nerve, D. You got a lot of nerve.
Of all people, right?
Oh man! Listen, let's change the topic to some sports real quick. Carl, I think I pronounced his name right. Nebsbit, something like that. Whatever. Pitcher, there you go. Saying for the Oakland Raiders, just came out the closet and just announced that he's gay to the world. He's playing NFL current. That's the time we got a current openly gay football player. Thoughts?
Yeah.
You know
what that's going to do.
What is that going to do
for the locker room? I've never been like, I know that, football is football. To me, that is the most, I guess, the most physical game there is, the most team-oriented game, if you ask me, and probably the most heated and quote-unquote macho, and, it comes from to play that game, it just comes from a special primal place. And to come out there and say that you're gay in that locker room, I don't know how that's gonna fly, man. I'm just being honest. I don't know. Maybe they're just, maybe they're just all counting on the professionalism. Obviously, he's counting on the professionalism of his teammates. These guys are all millionaires, so maybe he's counting on the fact that nobody wants to miss that check. So that's. I guess I hope nobody wants to. I hope I wish him well. I mean, I can't get what I can't understand it, but how that relationship's going to be, but be interested to see. So,
Derik, I don't think he's going to have a problem. I think the gay community, especially at this point, first of all, the gay community has people on notice that if you come at a person like that wrong, it's going to be repercussion, and people know that. That's the first thing. This is my overall thought. When it comes to people's sexuality, whether it's heterosexual, homosexual, whatever is out there, all that should be private. I believe sports should be a meritocracy. Whoever is the best should play and all those different things. I don't think you should get preferential treatment, whatever. I don't care about this dude's sexuality. The one thing I'll say that, in listening to him speak, is he's saying, and if this is an issue, which I understand it is, that there are a lot of young people who are homosexual and they're committing suicide. And so he said that he's going to donate $100,000 to suicide prevention. To me, if that helps them identify with, hey, even an athlete could be this way or whatever, and he's owning it and he's not ashamed of it, then I'm all for that. Other than that, to me, your sexuality should be something between you and whoever you're with. I'm not particularly fond of people just draping themselves down the street with each other and kissing out in public, act like those public displays of affection in any regard. I don't want to see it. It's your personal business. You know what I mean? And so once you put it into sports, because what I want to think about when I think about sports, I just want to think about the games. I don't even want to deal with all of the political stuff, whatever. I just like to think about the game sometimes. And I think sometimes this, becomes a polarizing issue. But go ahead, Derek.
You're coming at it from a fan standpoint, which I get, which I dig. But we're talking about as a teammate. He's sharing a locker room with other people. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can't tell. There's probably somebody in that locker room who would say, hypothetically, damn, I would like to know if my teammate is gay since I'm walking around him and,
Yeah, but I think we're beyond that now. It's so prevalent in society.
You are, and I am. But again, I don't know.
I think it might be different because the Nets player, what's his name? The guy used to play for the Nets. He was gay. He was openly gay. Yeah. So I don't think that's going to be an issue inside the locker room anymore per se.
Yeah, it's so prevalent now. It's not the taboo no more. I think the big story is if somebody come out and be like they heterosexual. That's gonna make news.
No, I'm going to touch on what you say, Calvin, and what Derik said. Right. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I'm going to start with you, Calvin. I do agree. I think he's going to be fine. I think last time I checked, I think his jersey is like the number one selling jersey now.
Number one seller.
That bothers me though. That bothers me because he's not good enough to have the number one selling jersey.
Well, the thing is,
jersey because of your sexuality.
But the thing is, it goes to show you how much support he has. So the thing is, now I also think that the NFL will embrace it to bring more people into the stadium, to open it up to a different type of fan. And now going to Derik, I think there will be issues in locker room too, because let's face the fact, what Derik said is kind of right. This football is an alpha male sport. There are going to be some guys in there that are going to be severely homophobic. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to also realize too, like in the football, you know, dudes give each other pats on the ass too. So there may be a guy that don't want him pat. Yeah, don't. I know. I didn't say nothing wrong. I'm talking about football.
Hey,
but now that pat on the ass becomes sexual harassment. I don't know.
No, I don't know about that, but I'm just saying that there may be some guys that may be uncomfortable with it. Let's not deny. I'm sure, without us even asking, there's somebody in the NFL that's homophobic. It's there everywhere. Yeah, no. No, I'm not. Nobody here is homophobic. I'm saying that somebody in the NFL most likely is homophobic.
Oh yeah,
somebody's going to have a problem with it. You know what I'm saying?
And the religious people, the crazy religious people, they're going to say
there's always going to be a group of people that's against whatever you believe in. That's just a fact. But like I said, I think he's going to be fine. Yeah, he's going to have encounters with certain probably teammates that's not going to have a problem with it, and maybe have a problem with him hanging out with them outside of football or being too close to him on the sideline. There's going to be people like that. Let's face the facts about it. It's just like being a black person. You're going to run into people that are racist.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is.
And what man Tiger said right then, Rod is right. Like Tim Hardaway, he's right. Tim Hardaway saying something about gay people in the NBA, and they canceled his ass.
Correct.
Correct.
Now I think they're even more conservative. The average football player, I feel like they're even more conservative people in football than they are in the NBA. You know what I mean? So you spoke on that tomorrow when you said you know people are religious. You got a lot of Christians that are in the NFL. I mean, very conservative players are in the NFL. You know, the guys come from those very southern, very Christian Bible Belt states. That's how they went to school there. You know what I mean? It came up through there, so I don't know how that's going to play. I mean, we'll see how it goes, but I feel he's got some things he's going to have to work on. You know.
And another thing, anybody know what stage he's at in his contract?
I don't have no idea. I have no idea.
That I should have found that out because I'm sure he's not near the end to announce this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Unless somebody's gonna leak him out, and that's what he was scared of, and he just came out.
Well, that's what happened to Michael Sam's, right?
Yeah, Michael Sam's, and somebody's gonna give him up.
This is what bothers me, and this is the double standard that I think is unfair. And I mean this, like when Rodney mentioned the selling of the jersey. Again, to me, in other words, you don't get credit for coming out and saying that you gave. That's just how I feel about it. If you remember years ago in Jersey, Governor McGreevey came out as a homosexual, and the Jersey State Senate gave him a standing ovation when he walked through that chamber door. What I'm saying is, if he was a heterosexual man who cheated on his wife, does he get a standing ovation walking through that door? Because in essence, that's what McGreevey did. He cheated on his wife with a man, and because he was homosexual, he got a standing ovation. Now, if you're heterosexual and you cheat on your spouse, do you get a standing ovation? No, you do not. So what I'm saying is this man good enough to have the #1 selling jersey? So in other words, I want to be treated like everybody else, but that is nothing more than
not cheating. That's not cheating.
No, the thing is, you got to look at it from two sides, Kelvin. You have to understand, like, he's being applauded for the courage of coming out. That's what the applause are for.
And Kaepernick gets son for the courage of taking a stand too, and that's what I'm saying. Is like,
the thing is too, we know in society that it's not common for people to come out. It's not easy for people to come out. So the thing is, when people come out, it's commended. People say, hey, this takes a lot of courage, because now you're going to be opening yourself up for a lot of criticism. You're going to be looked at differently. There are going to be people that are no longer going to be messing with you. So the thing is, that's why they say, hey,
I look at it almost like the opposite way. Right now, if your career is over, you come out of the closet, you got to restart, period. And right now, the reality of it is this. That is one of the strongest communities around. Like,
they got the wave. Yeah, the weight
Right.
is definitely real. Yeah.
I wish you would say something against somebody homosexual and your career is over that day. Like today, I don't think. Now again, I don't know, but I don't think it's a big deal coming out of. In other words, right now you got gay people that are married. I don't even see where this is like a big thing no more. I really don't. I don't see it. And maybe because it's football, but realistically, I mean, how many gay people you know? 1 million. How many have you worked with? 1 million. How many you see every day? 1 million. It's like, you know.
Well, like I say, every there's people that we know are gay, but they're not openly gay. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, that's where people say, "Hey, that takes a lot of courage." You know what I'm saying?
No, I got you. I got you.
Yeah. Speaking of more controversy in sports, Olympics' first trans athlete defies science and fairness. Yeah, they got a picture of her from Switzerland. From New Zealand. She qualified as I think a super weightlifter. I don't know what it's the category.
Powerlifter.
Powerlifter in the women's category. Do you think it's going to be the end of women's sports now?
That's I don't know it's going to be
Laura Hubbard. Sorry, Laura Hubbard. Yeah.
I don't think it's the end of women's sports.
Laura Hubbard. Sorry.
It's the beginning of some real live bullshit. I'll tell you that right now because listen, I'm waiting on the feminists. I'm waiting for the feminists to step up and say something, man. You know what I mean? Like, come on. This is they're taking a spot away from a legitimate woman. You know what I mean? Someone that's slaving away, man, that's practicing, that's working on the craft, and it's the equivalent of like a PED or something, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, men are just do certain different ways.
For people to understand, they saying that she qualifies because her testosterone levels is not. It just made it to be qualification to consider a woman. Her testosterone
also at the exact, it's at the tip top of what's allowable for her. You know what I'm saying? That's like, come on. You know what I mean? She's got a built-in advantage, man. I don't even know, man.
It's obvious that she got a built-in advantage. Me and my wife go to the gym together, right? And there's times we work out together. I have yet to see my wife be stronger than me. It's just not going to be physically possible unless I'm crippled or something. The thing is, it's just unfair what they're going to do to women's sports if they continue to do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have no chance of winning at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like me and my wife in the weightlifting contest. She has no chance of winning at all. None at all.
Right.
And that's just how I see it.
Women's sports is going to be all trans.
Why can't you enter physically as a man and compete with a man and just be a transgender? Why can't you do that? Right. Why do you have to go into women? I don't understand that. So it's to me, it seems like you're intentionally doing it so you can have an edge.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Or have a trans division or something like that. Something separate.
She can still compete with men because technically that.
No, that's the problem. She can't compete with men.
Just compete.
Why not just be a man into the off season? I'm just saying, in the summertime, go back to doing what you do. That's all.
That was hilarious. Go ahead, Rod.
No, I'm just sitting here thinking that we just may not have too many episodes left. I think this thing is about to unwind on us.
Well, we can bring something up. Speaking of somebody getting hot in the pants and doing all kind of stuff with women, Nick Cannon announced. Sammy, give me a picture of Nick Cannon. Child number 4 in 1 year, 7 total. You got something in that turban, boy. So Nick Cannon, I guess he's a poly dude. He has a bunch of babies with different women. He's gonna populate the world and spread his seed.
Wait, how many kids you said he had in 1 year?
He had 4 babies in 1 year. Total 7.
Is any of them twins?
No, he has different women.
So that's 4 different women, probably. At least 4 different women.
Yeah, twins with I think Mariah, but
I thought he had. I could have sworn I read somewhere that Nick Cannon had 2 sets of twins.
No, I think he just has
so these are not the ones. We're not counting the ones here with Mariah. This is not counting the ones here with Mariah.
Yeah, I'm thinking he has a set of twins with Mariah, and I was under the impression he had a set of twins with somebody else. But Jamie, look that up. Confirm that for us, please.
Yeah.
but we don't want to pass no bad information on this man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you say he has 7 kids.
4 kids in 2021. That's all. That's all reported right now. So I don't know if he has. I don't about to the twins.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
so.
I mean, hey, I'm not in no position to judge. I got 6 kids. So I need to stay out of this conversation.
No, I think people's uproar because he's on this whole poly thing. I think my thing with Nick Cannon is that he's on this pro-black thing, but he's not procreating with black women.
Oh.
So that's why I think that's where the problem I think lies with a lot of stuff when you speak pro-black, but you're not procreating with black women. So I don't know how to, that's what people are feeling about it. So it's kind of bugged out the way, something's going on in that turban a little bit.
It's a little tight right now, man. That turban.
Yeah, tight. But man, listen. The 2020 was the year to Karen. I think they have a movie coming out, the thriller called Karen. Jamie, can you play the thriller real quick? The trailer.
Guess this is a long way from East Point.
Baby, you just gotta give it a chance. Tell me about your new neighbors. They're black. Do you mind keeping it down? If you don't comply, I'll tell the manager.
Somebody's taking home security serious.
Hi, I am Karen Drexler. I'm your neighbor. You need to be taking your trash cans off the curb right when the trash is picked up.
Is she nice?
Yeah, she's nice.
Wait a minute. We have a white entitled neighbor named Karen.
Karen. Okay, enjoy yourself.
There she is, slaving away in the kitchen. I've come across some very suspecting teenagers.
Suspecting?
Can you please hurry up? Please, they're very aggressive. Yep.
I left my wallet with my ID at home. Leave us alone. We didn't do anything.
How the heck did you end up moving to this neighborhood? Next thing you know, we have criminals. You take care of him, and I will take care of her.
Would you mind stepping out of the car?
My office has uncovered some disturbing information on her and her brother.
She doesn't like black people.
We have a search warrant.
Well, I'm black. I know, she doesn't like you either. I want to sell the house.
What I do? You can't tell me, huh?
We are living next door to a racist. You went in her house? You wouldn't want your wife to know our little secret, right?
That's not standard police procedure right there.
What do we have here?
We got a hammer. Everything looks like nails.
You people are very angry.
Shut your mouth, boy.
Bad things happen to people that don't comply.
Brought to you by BET. Can't get any blacker than that shit.
You know what I realized? We need reparations. You know why? Because we don't have to do stuff like this. All right, just let me say this. All right,
go ahead.
First of all, and I've been critical of this. I believe a lot of our films are very extreme. Like, they're just very extreme. It's always, you know what I'm saying? It's always just extreme. It's very, very embellished. We get the whole Karen thing. We get it. We get the concept of it. But somebody obviously takes this and makes it a movie. And I've seen this movie 1,000 times. I've seen it in real life. I've seen it on screen. And rarely do we do character development. Everything that happened with that woman probably happened within 1 week's time, moving in that house. And that's just how it is. Nothing ever builds. But I mean, it'll be entertaining for somebody. It's stuff that we already know. But it almost feels like we just exploit and embellish this stuff because it's the flavor of the day. It's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel the same way, Kelvin. I don't think we've learned anything watching this. You know what I mean? Right. It's definitely riding the wave, So yeah, and it just feels very on the nose, so to speak. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, cool. We get it. It's Karen. All right, and maybe we can just, I don't know, I'm sure someone out there is going to maybe, I don't know, relieve themselves emotionally behind it, but we'll see. Produced by BET.
Yeah.
You know the scenes, right? You never saw it, but you know
the scenes. You know every scene.
Right? Then I do the cops is gonna whatever the kids, the parents is gonna. I mean, it's the usual.
It's a modern day Rosewood.
Yeah, I do like the actress though. They found the perfect Karen for that though. I like that actress.
I'm gonna talk about the topic, but I just want to go back to something because, like I say, I don't like saying anything incorrect about somebody. Nick Cannon does have 2 sets of twins.
Yeah.
Right? Different women. So that's 4 kids by 2 women or whatever. So that cuts his ratio down just a slight bit.
Oh, he ain't finished yet. But
he ain't finished.
But
go ahead. I want to talk about the Karen thing. Is it just me, or were you guys paying attention? Did you see how pale Karen was?
Oh, they made her extra pale.
They made her extra pale.
Oh, they put that powder on her, man. I'm telling you.
She's a good actress. She's a good actress. She's an Arjun Black.
They gave her super pale.
But speaking of somebody needs some powder. Somebody needs some powder. This burnt prune Trick Daddy said that Beyonce can't sing, and JP's is overrated, basically, the MC.
Well, he said Beyonce can't sing and he can't rap. So I don't know, but I think that's nonsense. Beyonce can definitely sing, and I don't think Jay-Z is overrated. I mean, I don't know what Trick Daddy's thinking about saying something like this.
Yeah, it's Florida Evans looking ass. California raisin ass, non-rapping, wouldn't even be nobody's top 100 ass.
What it did was this. I don't remember the last time in life I uttered the words Trick Daddy. So this is like,
I think I've ever done it.
and let me say something. We are great at tearing each other down. I mean, we just great. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just has to be. You know, this young lady is the most decorated female Grammy Award winner in history. You do not wind up getting that. Now, if you're going to compare her voice to Whitney Houston,
Prune Daddy.
He's not
Prune Daddy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I called him Brett, so I called him Prune Daddy. I mean,
you know, to me, I'm just saying, again, like I said, about exaggerating, about embellishing, about being extreme. So Jay-Z's not a great rapper. The man been rapping for over 20-something years. It got multi-platinum albums. You know, Beyonce has had to sing the national anthem and whatever. I mean, just highly decorated. It's just, and see, that's why I tell you guys, when it comes to social media, is just this lore to just say something. And I know he was in Clubhouse talking about this. So now for the first time in years, he's probably relevant. There's probably some people 20-something years old who hearing his name for the first time. So it's just much to do about nothing, but I'm just saying we just can always do that. And you actually, you just shoot for the top. They're the number one entertainment couple in the world, I'm sure. And it's just not, you know, it's nonsensical.
Like here's a guy that's in the entertainment business. So you're telling me I think he actually owned a record label, right?
I think, Slip and Slide, right? Was it Slip and Slide?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, so you're trying to tell me as a guy that was in the record business, you wouldn't have signed Beyonce or Jay-Z if they had came to you. Yeah, so that means you have no ability of recognizing talent. You know,
he said Beyonce can't write, and we think about all the songs she wrote. Beyonce can sing and dance and sound like the record.
Yeah. It's
like, come on, man.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, so like I tell you, I question a lot of things. I can be skeptical about stuff, but this may be one of those things that I usually say just to get some relevance.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When was the last time we spoke about Trick Daddy? When was the last time?
Nobody spoke about Trick Daddy. I do know he owns a restaurant. I think the restaurant is
Pickle Pig Feet.
That's what it's called?
No. I seen him eat Pickle Pig Feet on TV. So
okay. Say no more. Yeah, but I don't understand where this is coming from with Trick Daddy other than relevance. I mean, no one is agreeing with it.
Yeah, and I wonder, what does he think about Britney Spears? What does he think? Like, in other words, why is it always beyond, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, there's always somebody in our own community that is just that, you know, derogatory towards somebody else. You know, you have to give her credit. You have to give Jay-Z credit for what they've accomplished in their respective fields. Every time we bring somebody on here, 95% of the time we bring somebody on here as with their top 5, he in it. 95% of the time.
Word up. She can sing a cappella. Don't Trick Daddy always look like he looks sweaty and smell like house food? like man, like he always like you feel slick and smell like cooked bacon and shit like that.
Like chicken grease. Yeah, man.
He smell like he smell like house. Like he smell like house. You know what I'm saying?
But he's the same person.
Fish grease and collard greens, man.
Word.
Attacked the Breakfast Club because he didn't like the way they talked about Kodak Black.
Oh, come on.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't know about that.
Kodak Black. I'm not even...
So in other words, he was offended by the way they talked about his it wasn't the Breakfast Club, it was Hot 97 when they talked about the guy had a sexual charge against him or something like that. But what I'm saying is then to go after them. And I believe what Rodney is saying has got to be for relevancy. That's it. Because in his prime, Trick Daddy could truly say he never got $1 from me, ever.
Yeah. No, I never bought a Trick Daddy.
You right now say you make me a multi-millionaire naming one of his songs, I'll just be sitting here broke.
I'm a
thug.
One.
I can't name one.
Because I'm a thug. That's right. That's the only one that I could probably
pull over that ass too fast.
Y'all just said him, and I still can't name him.
I know. I live down south a little bit, so I know a few of them Trick Daddy joints. But Rod, you had a question for the audience, I think, for us too. Then you have a question for us?
Yeah. While we and my wife were out on Father's Day, we noticed that there were two parties going on, and they both were white parties. I want to ask you guys, correct me if I'm thinking wrong. Okay. Why in this day and time are we as black people still having white parties? Why can't we have black parties? The thing is, we're trendsetters, so we can do whatever we want. You know what I'm saying? Why are we still having white parties?
Well, I'm gonna tell you why.
All white attire, not doing white people parties.
No, I'm not talking about no plan. I'm not talking about no plan shit. No, yeah, all white attire parties. Like, why are we still having that in this day and time?
I think there's certain people that are stuck in time. If you remember when I believe Puffy and them used to make it very popular, going out to the Hamptons in a white party, something like that. So at the time he did that, you probably had most of the people that were probably in their mid-20s, 30s, or whatever like that. Now that they remember, it used to always get me with the grown and sexy parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To me, we have a herd mentality. We just repeat things. It just becomes, part of the culture. You know what I mean? There's something about, to some people, that's chic. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that's just what it is. I kind of agree with you, Rodney. Some of the stuff is just overdone or whatever. Because to me, you get to a certain age. And then at the same time, what adults wear the same things? Except for us tonight.
I don't know. Me and my wife had a discussion.
We're promoting. Follow, like, and subscribe, please. Follow.
There you go.
I don't know. Me and my wife just had the conversation. You know what I'm saying? But we just both found it interesting that in this day and time that black people are still having white parties. I just don't understand.
Yeah,
same thing as grown and sexy though. In other words, if you grown and you sexy, you don't have to have that party. But you got to say that.
But maybe it's tradition now, man. For certain people, maybe it can turn into a tradition. It's kind of like why people still sing "Happy Birthday" for your birthday. You know what I mean? So it's like wear the white parties or whatever. Whatever.
The worst example ever given. Nobody wants to say it, Derek, but I'm your friend, and I'm gonna tell you, like,
thank you, Kelvin. Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas on Christmas. I mean,
I would probably have an old black party. Like now, we should do have a Black Panther party. Like I really want to have a Black Panther party.
Well, that'll be tight. I like that. I like how that sounds.
We would hope the police don't raid us.
You know what I'm saying? Or Wakanda forever.
Cleaning down my street, leaving bottles on my lawn party. What about that? I want to have don't let off one firework this year party. That's what I want to have to go to sleep party.
Yo.
Let me go to work tomorrow party.
Yo, speaking of parties, D, since you asked me a question, don't you got a question to ask everybody?
I do have a question for everybody. Are men and women less eligible as dating partners if they bring multiple children into the relationship? Because it was a thing I was looking on black social media. They're saying like it's okay for men to have multiple kids to bring into a relationship, but it's not the same for women and stuff like that. But your thoughts, guys?
I think it's a double standard. I definitely think it's a double standard.
Yeah, it is. It's a double standard.
I mean, from a man myself, before I was married, I think men pay attention to what they're getting ready to take on, and I think you kind of have to. You know what I'm saying? I think a man. I've seen men with multiple children still go on and get into relationships with other women and have multiple children. But I think that is harder for women when it's the other way around. You know what I mean? I've seen it, but it's definitely a double standard. I think it's harder for women when it's the other way around.
Women usually, the children usually stay with women.
Correct.
So that's why
it's harder.
Yeah, you can. There's a lot of guys out here got kids and you wouldn't know it. And so with them, you know what I mean? These guys are getting divorced and then marrying somebody half their age and then, whatever. They don't have the same responsibility. They may have it financially, but as far as the time is concerned, unfortunately, because women physically bring children into the world, usually they're going to be the children are going to stay with women. And most people want or believe that the children are better off with their mothers. Most of the time you get that. The majority of the time you get that. And if that's the case, then some people don't want to get involved in that. There's some people that are like, they don't want to date somebody with kids and all these different things because you got to deal with the father, then you got to deal with the responsibility, and that's just it.
I think it's a holdover of societal norms where a man is a breadwinner, and provider. So it's your job as a man to provide. So if you have a few different children, you're expected to be able to provide for all of those children. Now, if a woman comes in with, into your life and she has children already, now it's your job to take responsibility for another man's children, and it's an extra responsibility, extra financial burden, and I think a lot of people kind of look at it like that, so therefore she becomes less attractive, as a result. So
I think it is on how many babies you have with different people. Like you have a woman that has like 2 or 3 kids with one person, it's easier to deal with. I think it was they have 3 different baby fathers. There's 3 motherfuckers I gotta deal with.
Correct.
That's a little different. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a little different. And women, men get away with it. See, I know guys that have 4 or 5 baby mothers, and they can do it because, like I think when y'all said, the women the children usually go with the woman. The guy gotta be kind of free, but then I don't know how many women want to deal with 2 or 3 baby mothers. Sometimes issues because they could be jealous relationships. Some of the women could be jealous, but but it's much easier if they have one person, if they have kids with one person.
Yeah, because the thing is, I say it's kind of easier for a man because you have a man that's able to build up to 7 baby mothers. Like, at what point did you realize you were number 5 and realize you were number 6 and realize you were number 7? You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, like, I've seen guys do it, you know what I'm saying? So, and I've seen them get away with it. But I definitely see it's harder. Like, if you got a woman that has 3 children and she got 3 baby fathers, it's going to be harder for her to build up to 7 than that guy to build up to 7 baby mothers.
Yeah. I think it all comes down to this. We never gonna get anywhere.
And then the thing is, it's like D said, you got like 3 baby fathers, 5 baby fathers to deal with. 2 of them you're probably waiting for them to come home from jail. That's going to be a problem.
That's facts.
Yeah. So the thing is, you got to look at what you're kind of getting into. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
there's a lot of personalities to deal with, man. Like you said, you got different personalities because it's not only the child and the mother, it's this other guy. You know what I mean? And you don't know where he's coming from. And he's always going to have a pull on your lady. You know what I mean? Yeah, just on one level or another, just out of necessity because of the child, or maybe he's not around. You hope that's your best case scenario, that he's not around and you can step into a situation if you're so inclined.
And I don't think we across the board, a lot of people don't understand the seriousness of what it takes to rear a child. If you want to really give them a great shot in life, if you really want to give them time and things, there's some people that want to have children and don't want to sacrifice. Yeah. My father, when I was a kid, he said, your sister and you were not a financial burden on me. He said, your mother and I could afford you, and that's why I wasn't a problem. My father said, I wasn't gonna have a bunch of kids that I couldn't afford.
Correct. The thing is, to be a good parent, it's an extremely unselfish act. you got to know that these children and this family comes before yourself. You know what I'm saying? And people that I've seen that are selfish, that they don't make pretty good decisions as far as being a parent, because they make decisions based on themselves and not their children. So their children wind up growing up off schedule. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of gotta be a special person to be a really good parent. And like you said, Kelvin, back in the days, I was raised by my grandmother, and the sacrifices and the things that they done for me, that's where I learned it from. Like, things that some people think are important to good parents, those things ain't important. It's about getting your children in a good place. That's what's important.
Yeah, the most important thing
anymore. I mean, really, think about most of the things that like everybody sitting on the screen right now owns their own home. You had to sacrifice something to do it. It's a sacrifice. That's just the bottom line. You got to give up something.
Kelvin, where I stay, this is an Airbnb. I have you full. It's Airbnb. But,
go ahead, Rodney.
Go ahead, man.
I got you guys one more last question for the night. I promise, this is the last one. How do you know you're at a native party? When I say native, I mean get hood. Because ghetto is a place to live.
2 hours to answer this.
Huh?
I can use the whole 2 hours to answer this. I can tell you.
You've been to a few.
Yeah, Kelvin's right. There's a lot of signs you can tell you're at a native party. I mean,
my God.
If Thug Passions are on the menu, I think I'm going to say that's probably one of them. Okay. For those who don't know, Thug Passion is a drink. You know what I'm saying? But
thank you for clarifying, because I don't know.
But let's start at the beginning. First of all, whatever time it starts, it's not starting at that time. That's whatever noise ordinance it is in that particular place,
it's going to be broken.
The first thing is the amount of times the cops will be called to come that night regarding such noise ordinance. The other thing is anybody parked on your lawn? The other thing is everybody taking stuff home.
Yo, Calvin, if we don't stop you, you're gonna go all night. The thing is, too, another sign is if a guy has on the belt but his pants is still below his ass. That's a problem too.
What Tiger Road they said about the lighting? I just missed that, Jamie, for a second. You came up real quick.
Are there kids at the party that should be asleep?
That's right.
It might be a hood party, right?
Right.
If it's behind a building, the light is questionable. It might be a hood party.
Yeah. Let me tell you, the most dangerous person, and I want people to. The most dangerous person at the party is wearing black Air Force Ones. That is guaranteed.
If he's got on black Air Force Ones, he's a shooter.
He's a shooter. He'll slice you. Got razors in his mouth.
Yeah, something.
Who coincidentally was not even invited to the party.
Yeah.
And he's the one drinking up all the Hennessy at the party.
Exactly. Yo, the thing is, our producer chimed in. He said, if you're at the party talking about the check cashing place, that's
you are right.
That's fine too. I just came from the check cashing place. That's a sign too.
Or if he said, I just came home, you looking good. You know you had a hood party.
If you hear the word saying he just came home.
Right, he just came home, you know he had a hood party.
If the party is for somebody that just came home, that's how
I'll tell you another, in a hood baby shower, if you had a baby shower and a stripper shows up, you had a hood baby shower. Oh man.
No, the thing is, here's the topper. If you're at a party and somebody's grandmother's there and she's only 35, that's a hood party. Grandma's at the party powering,
Grandma's at the
That's a hood party. Yo, man, this was another great show, man. Please like and subscribe, comment, hang out with the brothers. We like to we'll comment back to you guys. Jamie, take us out. Peace, y'all. See you next week. Peace.
Peace.